Happy Friday morning at Facebook. Hope you enjoyed yesterday's live with our kids. I'm gonna probably do another one of that. I had so much fun with them, and they just say some of the quirkiest stuff, and it's just fun to have the kids be imagination going wild and just thinking about different things. But it's also a great opportunity for me to teach my boys the different facets of plumbing, and it's a lot of fun. They always think they know so much about plumbing, and then when I put them on the spot like that, they really are humbled by it. So I think it's good for my kids, and it's good for me to just have some fun with it, and to teach them. It's a good opportunity. That's why I do these lives, is to hopefully teach you as the homeowner about plumbing and the different facets of it. So today, you got gas? Piping, that is. We're going to talk a little bit about natural gas and propane, and some of the things that you should know about it, and some of the codes that you should know about it. This last week, I was talking to a friend, and he was telling me that he wants to run a gas line for a barbecuer. And I said, well, that's great, give us a call. And he's like, oh, no, I can do it myself. And every time I hear a homeowner say, oh, I can do it myself when it comes to natural gas or propane, kind of scares me a little bit, because these are some things that have been known to blow up and cause a lot of problems. And so I told him, well, look, I'll help you with the gas line. I don't want you doing it by yourself. It's something that you probably need to have an expert that has the professional know-how on how to put these things together to where it doesn't end up in an explosion or killing your family. And there's been so many incidences where, homeowners have attempted to do something with gas, and it doesn't matter what it is. They've attempted to do it, and it ends up being really bad results because of them not having the knowledge of it. So today we're going to talk a little bit about gas piping and the dangers and some of the terminology that we use as plumbers on gas piping. So we're going to talk about that today. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you the different types of pipe and explain what they're used for, and then I'll kind of tell you how we as plumbers size the different stuff. And obviously, I'm not telling you this so you go out and do it yourself. I'm telling you this so you realize that there's a lot more to it than just hooking up pipes. A lot of people think that gas piping is something that's very simple, and it can be, but you have to have the proper knowledge in order to do that. And so I'll go into that, kind of talking about that today. So let's go ahead and flip you around and get you started. The very first pipe I want to talk about is the most common pipe used in gas, and it's black iron pipe. This is a malleable pipe. It is just what it says. It's black iron steel, and this is threaded. So majority of your pipeline in your house, code requires us to bring it in black iron pipe, and then we can bring it in and base it off of that. After that, we can do CSST, which we'll actually get into a little bit later. The reason black iron pipe is used in gas iron is, first of all, it's really easy to cut and thread. We have a special machine that does all the threading on this. And the nice thing is you just put a little bit of Teflon tape, some pipe dope, or lubricant on it, and you thread it literally right into the fitting. And so that makes it look like it's pretty easy, and it is. Problem is a lot of people don't realize that the smallest little pinhole leak could cause an explosion. Natural gas is very flammable, so is propane, and the slightest leak could cause a major issue. So let's talk about how they bring the gas line into the meter. The very first thing they do is they use this pipe. This is a poly pipe. It's basically a PEX for polyurethane pipe. It's basically a PEX for water lines, or for gas lines, excuse me. This is done underground. It has a special fitting that comes up, shoves into it. It has a gas resistant gel that seals the pipe inside, and it has teeth to where it wouldn't come apart. The problem with this is you can't hook up a metal detector to locate where the gas line is, so it's required by code that we use a wire and wrap it around the pipe, and it has to be a solid wire. That way the utility company can hook up a clamp to this, send a signal through it, and locate where your gas line is underground. So that's how it's brought into the house. And then after it gets to the house, we have a black iron stub out coming out of the house, and most of your black iron is ran right into the main stack. The way I usually do it is I bring it in and I drop everything down into one main stack, and then I tee off for the different appliances in the basement. And when I tee off to do the different appliances, at that point I change to this newer pipe. This is called gas tight. It's a stainless steel corrugated pipe. It's a CSST. Stainless, and that stands for corrugated stainless steel tubing. And basically it's a stainless steel tubing that's flexible, and it's got an outer sheath for insulation purposes, and I'll show you what this insulation has in it. So this would be the plastic piece that you're seeing right here, the black part. That would be up against the pipe. And then you'll see this like aluminum looking foil, but it's actually a metal that attracts electrical current. And basically what that does is it helps it ground out. So if there's ever a lightning strike in the ground and it hits your black iron pipe, this grounds out electrically, and it doesn't allow any fires to take place or anything like that. And then it has another plastic coating on top of that to arc it out. And that way it sends the current through the ground wire. It's required by code that every gas line coming into a house be grounded out electrically to the ground pole inside the ground. And that way, if there's any electrical, any lightning hits the house or anything like that, we don't have an explosion inside the pipe from electrical current from the lightning. It grounds out to the ground, and it stops it. So, how do we size a gas piping? Well, that's great. Let's turn you back around here. Sorry about that quick flip around. But sizing it is a very difficult process. And basically, we size everything based on British thermal units, or what we call BTUs. If you look at your furnace, your water heater, or your any appliance that runs on gas or range, your garage heater, whatever you have in your home that runs on natural gas or propane, there's going to be a BTU rating on that. So basically what we as a plumber do is we sit down and we figure out every single BTU that appliance is going to be in that home, whether it's a fireplace, whether it's a range, whether it's a furnace, whether it's a tankless water heater, whether it's anything, barbecue grill, whatever it is that you're putting in natural gas wise or propane wise. We measure the BTUs to figure out what size pressure pipe we need coming in. And I'm going to size my pipe coming into the house based on my BTUs inside that house. The more BTUs I have, the larger diameter pipe I'm going to have, because I want to create more pressure. Now, there's two different types of meters that the gas company puts in. You have your normal residential meter, and then you have your 2-pound system, which is a commercial, or when you have a ton of appliances inside the house, sometimes you're required to do a 2-pound system in order to increase the size of that. For instance, if you have 2 or 3 furnaces and a tankless water heater and a bunch of other gas products like a garage heater, a fireplace, or maybe 2 fireplaces and a range, you're going to want to go with a larger pipe, and you want to go with a larger meter if that's what you need. Anything 700,000 BTUs or more requires a 2-pound system. And in that 2-pound system, that would be a commercial. At that point, we have such high pressures coming into the building that we neck it down with a pressure regulator. And these will be a little system, a little box. I don't have one. I wanted to show it to you, but I don't have one here in the shop. But these are a little box that has a vent built into it. And basically what it does is it regulates the pressure back so it doesn't blow the diaphragm out in the gas valve of the appliance. And so basically it just regulates the pressure coming in. Anytime we have a 2-pound system, we're required by law, by code, to put in a regulator just for that appliance. So if we have a 2-pound system, every single appliance in the home is going to have a regulator. Most of your ranges come with a regulator built in. Same thing with the fireplaces, but I always check them just to be safe. And sometimes I'll put a regulator on the outside just to be safe, because I'm not sure if the gas valve has a regulating system in it or not. Most gas valves do, but I can't always guarantee it. So a lot of times I'll just neck it down with a reducer as we come in, or a gas regulator. So hopefully that gives you kind of an idea that there is a lot more to gas than the eye beholds. Yeah, it's threaded. You can run gas lines and stuff like that. I've seen people do it. But the problem is they never leak test any of their joints. They don't know how to do that. And they don't know that this system has to have this size gas piping in order to keep the regular flow. Man, it's Friday, I could tell. The regular flow coming in, it needs to regulate right for that gas appliance. So we really, really check those BTUs and make sure that we got the right size line going to that size furnace or whatever it is for the BTUs to maintain the pressure. So hopefully that taught you a little bit about gas lines. This is something that we don't recommend people doing on their own. We do have certifications and qualifications that set us apart from the rest of the industries that we have for just gases. And we're continually educating ourselves on gas appliances and gas regulations. I'm yearly training my guys on how to use CSST, how to do different gas piping, how to thread. And so we really are taking this pretty serious. It's something that we don't mess around with. We really do want the homeowner to be safe and have a healthy home. And this is the first step to doing it. A big problem we see a lot of times is people using the wrong flexes for gas water heaters. The other day, Tanner and I went into a home and we looked at the home, and the homeowner had put in the water heater himself. We were doing an inspection on everything, and when we got in there, the homeowner had used a water flex line for a gas system, and those are not rated for gas. So this really concerned us. We brought it to their attention, said, this is the wrong gas line. You need to change this out immediately. This needs to be taken care of. This is not safe for you and your home. And we will do that. We will let that know. We make a recommendation on their invoice saying we told them that it needed to be changed out. In this situation, they didn't want to change it, which to me is a big concern for their family. So we put a recommendation down that it needed to be changed. The homeowner said, we don't want to change it. We don't want to pay the bill. To me, $30-40 with, we were already there doing a job, $30-40 extra bucks to add the right gas line in is worth it. I mean, it's somebody's life that you're dealing with. So this gas system we'll probably carry into next week. We talk a little bit about the venting of gas appliances. It's something that's pretty serious, and we see it done wrong all the time. And so we'll talk about that a little bit next week. But I just wanted to let everybody